Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be making up a batch of some more of my vintage tapes. In the past, I've done it where I've taken strips of regular, like Scotch tape, invisible tape, whatever you want to call it, and did the mixing on strips of paper. I've always used, it came in a 3-pack, I'm guessing it still does, is latte, ginger, and caramel, and made my strips. But this is all I have left, and I decided to make some more. Now I do have, I could take the strips, the backing from any of my sticker sheets, or this is the clear sticker paper, and put some more Scotch tape on it. But I thought, you know, I still have a ton of these clear sticker sheets left. The pack I bought had 60 in there, and I still have a ton left. The link is in the description. They're great for it. But I thought, well, why not make a full sheet of these colors and then just cut them from there. They don't have to necessarily start out as tape, because I usually cut them down anyway, so why not start with a bigger piece and cut it down? So I pulled out the big sheets, but instead of doing a big sheet, I decided to cut it in half and work with the smaller piece. Then I can kind of play with the colors a little bit more and maybe get different effects. I've also pulled out a moss, which is a green. I got slate, which is a gray. I got another brownish sepia, and I pulled out butterscotch. So I thought I could play with those colors also to make some grungy tapes. All right, so let me get this out of the way. I have pre-cut up some of these. All right, and I do have my alcohol. I'm thinking I'm going to spray alcohol on here just to start it. And kind of like nails on a chalkboard. Those are squeaky. All right, so I'm just putting a thin coat on here. If I miss spots, I think it's okay, but I can kind of see I got a pretty good job of it for that. Now I do have my ink blender. I'm gonna throw a little alcohol on that too. And I'm just gonna start with trying to, oh, there we go, open the bottle. It's been a while since I made the tape. All right, and I'm just gonna put some colors on there. Should I mix it up a little bit? All right, just stain a little bit. The papers, this clear sticker sheet, I would have not thought would have done that, but that's okay. It leaves a little bit of a darker look, but looking for the next color. Let's see if I can put it on here and start with this. And once again, she don't have gloves. And I don't know, I'm going one direction. I don't know if it's, okay. Let's put the cap on. Almost knocked the wrong one off. The last time I played with alcohol inks, I was doing pink ones. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I ended up getting some pink that fell, and I had it all on my arm, which is all gone. But that same day, I go downstairs and in the kitchen, and my husband's like, "You have blood on your leg." And I look down, and it's splotches of this pink. I'm like, "No, it's not blood. It's alcohol ink." But yeah, well, these are fun. Doing a little bit of splotching. There we go. All right, so if I want something a little bit darker, I should add a little sepia to this and see what this looks like. Close that up. Yeah, the sepia is definitely a lot grungier. And by just kind of pouncing, I'm leaving little circles versus Pouring that out just gives a bit. I really wish you could pour it out and have tiny little drops. Kind of like when you got the distressed inks and you pull the cap off and kind of splatter it down a little bit. Yeah, grungy. I love it. You still see that original green through there. That was the latte. And I know that the that latte has a bit of a green hue. It always kind of looked like when I did it and put some drops on something, it always had a kind of copper patina look. I wish I had old paper in the inks. That would be a fun color because it's got that light green. That's what I was kind of hoping. The moss. I'll play with the moss in the next one and the slate with the next one. Yeah, cool. And like I said, by the time you go and cut a piece out, you're just getting parts of this. Okay. I'm going to put this to the side to dry. I just got to find a side to put it on. Okay. I did grab a new ink pad, so I can do the grays and slates and see what that looks like. I think I'm going to spray again. I think that did work. Helped it. I guess I could have used this to spread it, but okay, so let's start with a little moss green and see what that looks like. I'm going to start it on the yeah, I like it. It's a nice light green. Kind of like how I was thinking that old paper might look. I don't want it to be streaky, but I also don't want it to be a flat color. I want to have tones, and I hope this is not, I didn't check this, it's too shiny for you guys. I really like that green. Very cool. Okay, so should I put a little slate gray in here? Let's see how that works. Kind of cooler tones versus the warmer tones of the browns. I don't want to over dominate it with the gray. Ooh, it's cool. It's kind of mixing into be like a brownish tone. I do also have a black one, but I'm thinking the black would be too dark. That's why I picked the slate. Oh, I'm really liking this one. And the fact that it's doing that third color is super cool. That is really cool. Trying to get it on every inch. Make sure the corners are done. I want every inch of that tape to work and be cool. I love it. All right, we're gonna put this one to the side to dry. All right, I do have that patina one. I wonder how that would look in terracotta, kind of like an outdoorsy thing. So I think I'm gonna start with patina. And I will do, since I got a new pad, I will put the ink on the pad, or the alcohol on the pad, and do this. Now, I don't know if it's right or wrong to put alcohol on here. I do know there's blending solutions, and I do know that you can actually put alcohol on top to make it spread. I just didn't want it to kind of clump in one area, and that's why I decided to do that. All right, we're going to start with patina, because I want to see what that color looks like. Kind of the same like before. I'm just going to try to do it light. And not really have it be too much. Yeah, this might be too bold of a green, kind of a bluish green, water, not really old looking. Yeah, let's throw some butterscotch on there. See if it'll mix with it and make more of a greenish blue. Now you could definitely, if you had, you know, one color ink and you just wanted a solid color, you could definitely just, you know, do swipes of it and make a solid one. But I don't know, I like the textures and the darker parts and the lighter parts. Like I said, when I would do it on the regular tape, I would let just it drop out and it would just kind of spread and splooge a little bit. I was not upset with that. And if I had some sort of air heat gun, I could probably do that and get it to go. All right, yeah, this is covering up a bit of that green a little bit more. All right, and I do have a little terracotta, which is a bit of a reddish green. I'm hoping they're not going too Christmassy looking. I like that color. Yeah, I like that color. Hide the sins of the patina. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of slate on here, just because it kind of reminds me of a grungy splattering of a blackish gray. Yeah, it really does blend in. Makes that greenish look a little bit more grayish. Yeah, that's cool. Almost confetti looking like. And it'll be fun. Like I said, it's if you look at it as a whole, I think it's kind of, you know, stark. But again, like I said, when you're just cutting it down into little pieces, I think it'll be okay. And I know I'm kind of getting away from the tape. It's more of a decoration at this point. I think the last one I'm going to do is I'm going to lean it to be more replacement tape wise. Because as I'm looking at it, it's very cool, but even a small piece might look weird as tape. But I like it as a decoration. So we're gonna go do the last one I have because I cut 4. I'm gonna make that more of a tape one. All right, so for more of a tape one, I do like this butterscotch. And we're gonna use that. I have enough ink on here to do a lot of it actually, without even putting some ink on there. Now this one I didn't, as you saw, I did not put any alcohol on here. It was straight from the pad, which did have some alcohol in it to begin with, but it was more of a more dried out. My cutter got stuck, so I got this like lumpy part right there. I'll have to avoid around. Okay. Let's use some of this. And I'm going to flip it over to the other side, which is the back side, which shouldn't have as much on there. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have as much on there. Nope, I like it. I was going to flip it over and think I'd get a little bit more, but I like the subtlety of it. Add a little alcohol in there, kind of wet it up a little bit. So maybe it spreads. Now, since this, I know this is not like that UPO, I think is what it's called, UPO stuff that people use to use alcohol inks that is more spreadable. It's the plastic, so it's kind of like it. But like once it's stuck, it must bind into there a little bit more, and once it's stuck, it's not blendable. So these lines and streaks are definitely not blendable at this point. I don't think so, even if I add a little. Oh, a little bit. It definitely lightened it up a little bit. All right, I think I need one more color, a little bit darker, and put a little sepia on there, I think. Oops, I do need that. All right, a little too dry. And a little more sepia. There we go. Turn it the other direction, because you know your hand moves one direction a little bit more, so I think if you switch it around you end up getting a little bit more. Now this is also, I want to say, this is a lot brighter than what it's going to be, because when you peel it off it's clear. Right now it's on white paper, so it makes it a little bit, you know, brighter than it is. But I am okay with that. But I think for the last touch, where's my latte? There it is. The latte has got a bit of a green. I'm going to see if I can just put some dots on there, because that always seems to give it a little bit more personality. When it dries, it does that. This will probably take a few more minutes to dry than the other kind will, but I think it'll be good. any one of those puffer things. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, it's a little bit. Stop messing with it, right? Is that what you're saying? Stop messing with it, Lisa. You just can't help but play. And you know what? It's a couple sheets of clear sticker paper. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. And if you get a chance to play a little bit, I say have at it. Okay, I'm going to clean this mess up, and I'm going to get this dry, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what they look like dry. And like I said, probably cut it apart to show you what I'm talking about, that it is lighter. All right, I am back, and these are done. So I'm going to show you up and close version. Then I'm going to cut one of these apart and then show you what it looks like afterwards, trying to get the glare off of there. That one's a nice mushy, muddy mess. This one's a little bit more restrained with its strips, but lovely, yummy colors. This one's a little more artsy, but definitely I could see some fun with this. And this one I absolutely love. I adore this, and can't wait to use it. So I pulled out this card. This is actually an idea that I have for an upcoming video. I'm using some frames and some of my painty papers. Speaking of painty papers, if you saw that video, I recently did the yellows, so very pretty, and I did the neutrals, the browns, very yummy. That added to the other ones that I did, so I've got a whole bunch to play with. This one I used part of the greens out of, but yeah, so I'm going to, this was done, but I'm thinking I'm going to just, how I wanted to do this is, if I want a strip of it, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece of tape a certain length and peel it away. And it's probably hard to tell, but it's practically invisible. And I'm going to put it right here and just add a little bit of color to it. Very fun. Very, very fun. And I have this card right here, which was just laying around. It's a masterboard card. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to add a little bit of grungy tape there, because it is grungy looking. So let's just cut a piece off of that. And like I said, by the time you cut a little bit off, it is, of course, that first one peeled off so easily. There we go. It is super grungy. And we're going to put it on something a little brighter here. How fun is that? I love it. I love it. And I'm wondering, take another one of my masterboard cards here. I just want to see how this one looks like. So I'm going to cut a piece. I'm going to cut one that's got as many colors as you can from the end here. Because like I said, this was so more decorative, less tape-like. So that's the piece. And this just kind of had, I like this one because it kind of has like those little flower things on there, sort of like it. So we're going to just put it on there. And you still see, since it's clear, you still see the lines behind it, but it just adds a little bit of something to it. Very fun. Well, I am quite happy with how these turned out. It's so much fun to play with the alcohol inks and that, and using different colors, you get different aesthetics. I'm sure if I tried to do that one again with the colors, it probably would end up looking different. The same with that and this, and it's going to be fun. Like I said, I'm just going to cut a piece out, and we're going to cut one out of there because it's going to be part of that. And we'll use this one because this has a bit of greens and the pinks and etc. Once again, there we go. First one pulled off so easily. I'm going to put So even though there's this dark splodge, by the time you cut a little piece off, I think it still looks okay. Very fun. Okay. All right, that's it. Okay, well, I hope you liked that video. A thumbs up would be great. If you have any questions about what I did, anything like that, please leave a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and want to see this upcoming video, please hit the subscribe so you know when these pop up, because like I said, this is probably going to be my next video where I use my little painty papers and probably some of these little guys in here. Yeah, fun times. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.